Howdy y'all, welcome to part 19 of our Kentucky Route Zero playthrough. We are in Act 4, Scene 7. I will, Linares, thank you. I will remember, put it that way. I really hope it doesn't push us too far back. Okay, we're at the Echo River Central Exchange. I was really worried it might put me all the way back to the beginning of the boat ride. Looks like a child, someone at a desk, saw a skeleton. Careful up there. Can't drive a new truck if you slip and break your legs. You too. Try not to make any more bad deals while I'm gone. I'll just be floating around along down here. I just mean keep your eyes open and don't look back. Oh, hi. I remember you. Do you know where the telephone exchange operator is? I don't know what that means. I'm just exploring. I like dark underground places. I'm a romantic. I think I'm more classical myself. That sounds like the same thing to me. Okay, bye. And yes, I know my tone was all over the place there. Working on it. Could be bypassed with another capacitor at 100 nanofarads to reduce noise. If your circuit's too noisy, you should tie down those floating pins to ground. Huh, that's a pretty good idea. They're probably picking up all kinds of radio interference. Morse, pleased to meet you. Dashiell Morse. We don't install this type of phone for customers anymore, but there are quite a few of them still in circulation. Anyway, new system doesn't source enough current to ring these old bells. I'm just trying to come up with a workaround. Maybe a little box the customer could attach right before the wall jack. Sounds like a good gig, fixing old phones. Well, yeah. I'm here just about every night. This your first time down here? Yeah, I can tell. Your eyes can't quite adjust to the light. It takes some practice. Believe it or not, I've been coming here since I was a kid for one reason or the next. Back then, this place was a train station. It's true. They had bats then too, but they were considered a nuisance. What did you come here for as a kid? I usually came here with my grandmother. We took the train out to the town she lived in, or the other direction back with to my parents' home. My memories, it was always cold. Winter, I guess. Sometimes now I walk along the tunnel, run my hand along the wet stone walls and close my eyes, ringing footsteps in the drip, 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 the grimy stalactites. Well, the river shifted and this place slowly filled with water, carrying the train away with the current. Does that, the river? And I don't begrudge it. It's a good reminder that everything we have is borrowed, even trains. Eventually, someone at the Bureau of Reclaimed Spaces heard this place was still empty, so moved the phone company in here. I returned here as a young lineman, a skill I picked up in wartime. Telephone lines behind enemy lines. We used trees instead of poles. I miss that. Actually, they were easier to climb. It's just as well. I'm in no shape to be climbing anything these days. Closest I get is patching up the wiring in the crystal room for the WEVP folk. WEVP, that's community television. I've volunteered there for a number of years. Know everybody there. Ralph, Sherry, Weaver, Dave. Weaver Marquez? Sure, Weaver Marquez. That's funny. I was just thinking about her. Yeah, I met her a couple times at the TV station. Suppose I didn't know her too well. She handled the archives and I was helping with the wiring and stuff. She really seemed to know her way around all that gear, though. She had a real head for signals, I think. No idea where she ended up. I would guess she's probably not too popular around the station anymore, but I always liked her. Listen, miss, if you're in WEVP, you should go talk to them directly. They're always looking for volunteers. Take the ferry over to the silo. There's a mail stop there. They don't have a sign or anything. Just ask around. Guess I'll get back to this old ringer. Poppy's just a little further down if you're dropping off that package. Nice chatting with you. Abel and Elos, the lover's courier. Bred for racing, Abel and Elos spent most of their lives as carrier pigeons in the employ of the Echo River Avian Post. They retired here after Abel was disfigured in an accident with a light aircraft. Old habits were hard to die. Abel and Elos would pick up scraps of paper from the ground, trash, even pull them out of pockets and deliver them to other people nearby, to delight or embarrassment. Word spread and travelers began passing through this tunnel. Began to come prepared with love letters, poems, and other written desires to pass along indirectly through these pigeons. After a hard day's work, Abel and Eloise would always be found nestled closely together in a disused newspaper stand, set aside for their habitation, and that's where we left them. Just set it right over there by the lamp, sweetie. Thanks. Actually, just a minute. Who does that parcel claim to be from? Consolidated Power Company. Oh dear, I'm afraid to open it. So who are you? Do you work for the post office or the tugboat? I only ask because I haven't seen you before. Is that you I heard chatting down the hall? I'm just doing Kate a favor dropping off this package. Kate, I love Kate. She helped deliver both my nieces. One in the hospital and one at the base of a mossy moonlit oak. It was beautiful. I love Kate. I think Loretta's granddaughter used her too. Oh, Loretta used to work here, actually. I think quite a few of our former operators have relied at some time on Kate's services. Well, now I guess that they have more time with their little ones. As you can see, all their chairs are empty. It wasn't always like this. I came to work at the Echo River Central Exchange. There was always 12 of us. Retta, Edna, Meg, Carla, Mary, Louise, Liz, Hester, Angie, Wilma, Connie. I was number 12. Connie and I were hired on the same day, but she showed up early. Marie finished college, and Hester was fired for snapping at a rude caller, but he had it coming. And I hear she did just fine on her own, so they hired Beryl, Jana, and Shaki. Ooh. No idea to get through that one. Which brought us up to 13, and that was as many operators as we ever had here at one time. Power company came along, buying up all the lines. One day, they took the exchange as a throw-in. It was nothing. Nothing. And they started phasing us out. Edna, Meg, Cara, and Lois left one Friday evening and were asked not to come back on Monday morning. Beryl saw the writing on the wall and quickly found employment at a private PBX. They had Jenna and Liz stop routing calls and write up some kind of best practices document instead. It was their final task as exchange employees. Some of the girls were reassigned to other divisions. Connie, I think, was checking residential meters. Chico and Wilma were moved into energy sales, cold calling businesses, see if they needed to upgrade their electricity plan. At least they were still on the phone. Then it was just Loretta, Angie, and me. We were swamped, the hours were hell and hard on the throat. The voice with a smile became a croak. I was gargling warm salt water in the break room, sipping thermos of hot honey broth stashed under my chair. Oh, I brought a lot of extended technique to the switchboard on those days. Sounded pretty good to me. You got the voltage too high. It'll burn out the relay. So where was I? Extended switchboard technique. It was all about timing your breath. Some girls got lightheaded doing too many calls in a row with that upbeat dynamic inflection they made us use to keep everything intelligible. It was very physical. So after a few months, it was just me. New automation strategy was announced, and this place was rechristened Consolidated Auxiliary Switch Number 30. Well, if it's automated, what do you do here? It's not fully automated. There are still gaps in functionality that need a human touch. And you know, it really is all about touch here. Sound is a vibration, touch you feel in your ear. So my voice is my touch when we're talking. We're touching. Even on the phone, that's an electric touch. An intimate little shock that makes your tiny hairs tremble. But that's not even what I mean when I say it's all about touch here. When the power company first tried automating this old exchange with fancy new transistor arrays, the switchboard caught fire. It was just too much, too fast. Then they tried using some clunky old mechanical relays, but then the calls were getting mismatched and out of sync. It was a nightmare. Their technicians determined that the phone system down here had been designed ad hoc over decades, around the specific tempo of its human operators, so short of replacing the whole thing, not to mention all the wiring, they'd have to work out the exact timing of every little human gesture that goes into routing a phone call. That, officially, is my role here. I run the switchboard for the whole exchange. Once the work of 12, I'd like to remind you, they have some kind of machine somewhere that tracks down how long it takes me to do every little thing. Caller never hears my voice now. They dial my little indicator light switches on and I make the connection. And Gunner Kid, thank you for the rating party of 3. I don't know why my alerts didn't bring you in, but thank you for being here. Could I get a shout out for Gunner Kid while I keep reading? Do you miss talking to callers? You know, there's something that bothers me about the process, besides the fact I'm training my replacement. Isn't even human. Here's what I mean. How long do you think it should take to time my every move, recreate that time in an automated switchboard? Rough estimate. Maybe a week? That's what I said. But this has been going on for over a year, and a very dark thought has started to nag at me. What if there is no cheap machine that's going to replace me? What if it's cheaper just to keep me here? Filling in for the rhythm of the operator. What if I'm the cheap machine? You're not a machine. Nice of you to notice. I'm on the Echo River Central Exchange, and I'll carry a torch for the voice with a smile. But at least I'm keeping some part of it human, right? Even if it's not the best part. Oh, the parcel. Right over there by the lamp is fine. Thanks for dropping that off. Take care. Think of me when you dial 0. Thank you for the bit magic. Oh, the boat's empty. Of course. And everybody, give Magic some love. Magic had their first affiliate stream today. She returned on the dinghy, alone. She had a strong and sudden urge to shut the motor off and let the current take her, but she couldn't work out where that impulse came from, so she did her best to resist it. She met a painter of shipwrecks. He never worked from photographs, so his paintings could be divided into 2 categories. There were the ones he painted from life, And the Echo River was a very good source for these because its currents were unpredictable and the tunnels so dark. He rendered these in oil paint by lamplight, working for hours cross-legged on the porch of his houseboat/studio. Then there were the ones he painted from memory, mostly the memory of a single wreck he encountered as a much younger man, picking up litter where the coastal highway cleaves into the rocky beaches of Northern California. These were done in watercolor. Preferred to work on them in the morning, in a room he rented near the airport in Louisville. He had some postcard-sized sketches in charcoal, too, of Iron Pariah. It wasn't a wreck exactly, but it felt right. He tried to scribble one down every time he encountered it, though it was usually so unpredictable and he was so focused on details, he usually just ended up with a handful of inscrutable marks. Well, Lavino, howdy, and what is your good news? Oh, I'm glad you're here. Oh, awesome! I am so proud of you. Can we get a shout out for Lavino and some love in chat too? She met a flower salesman on a raft, floated alongside in buoyant pots, bobbing untethered. He corralled them with a long pole and a stream of small adjustments. She made small talk. He was alert and easygoing. His day was just beginning. Used to work at the House of T-shirts, but it closed down. When he wasn't selling flowers, he'd hang out by the highway and listen to the sounds the cars made, study them carefully and learn to reproduce them with his own voice. He was working on a record. He drifted away with the current, pushing his flowers along with the raft. She met a guitar player pedaling a floating bicycle with his dog in tow. Said they took turns. The water was cold and the floating bicycle, while technically marvelous, wasn't buoyant enough for both of them. Swimming is hard work, the hardest work the dog's ever done, he expected. They'd been traveling this way for most of the night, struggling through the icy water, stopping to recover when they could find a rock large enough to start a small campfire. Had his belongings stuffed into a weathered guitar case at the end of a thin rope. It floated pretty well, so we only had to keep an eye on it, occasionally free it from a rock or some other driftwood it was caught on. And I am proud of you for getting to affiliate. It means it's impressive. Good job. She invited him to ride a ways on the dinghy. He appreciated the offer, but they weren't in a hurry. She gave in, shut off the motor, and floated for a while. Then she knew what she'd been craving. A moment of silence. In case anyone's wondering, I am providing no input to the game. Well, thank you, Levin. I'm so glad I got to help and be part of your journey. Here's to many more. I cannot wait for you to come in and tell me you hit your 1,000 followers or 500 or whatever milestone means a lot to you. Because we all grow together here. Act 4, Scene 8. It's honestly best that way, Levino. I honestly can't think of a better way to say this game is to be enjoyed but to be a smidge confused. I've been playing it for 6 days, 5 days, and I'm just starting to put parts of it together. Shannon inspects the dog's eyes. She can't tell if the dog is staring back or just staring. She tilts her head a little to the left, but the dog doesn't track her movement. Just in time. We've already finished eating, but we're about to place a to-go order for Claire. She's back on board getting ready for her show. Take a look at the menu. I'm sure there's something you'll like. Ida's a bit of a local celebrity for her cooking, I mean. Hey, Ezra was just asking about you. He's around the corner playing a video game. Maybe go and let him know you're back. Where's the old man anyway? Bad luck. You'll get it next time. Hey, got a quarter? Almost got this. It's true. Sure, I have 1 quarter. Thank you. So, where's... Took him. He really got himself in a situation there. Yeah. I'm gonna go sit down. Cool. The food is good here. I think everyone else is finishing up, but you could probably get something to go. Alright, Claw Mastro. Let's give it another shot. So let's see what's on top of the pile here. There's a stuffed octopus, plastic bag full of clamshells, cowboy hat, and some big headphones. The octopus has a leg wrapped around the boombox underneath it. The shells are pretty clear, but I don't know if the claw can really grip the bag well. Cowboy hat's in the corner, so it's kind of tricky to tell if it's wedged in or not. Those headphones might be a good bet, but I can't see the cord. It could be wrapped around something. What are you going to try for? I'll try to get the headphones. Good call. I think that's our best bet. Okay. When I put this quarter in, you'll have about 8 seconds to grab your prize. Headphones are on the right, pretty close to the middle. You know, if you need help lining it up, I've got a slightly different view of the field from up here. Ready? Here we go. Thank you. Stay safe, Levena. The claw drops. It grabs the headphones. Claw's grasp seems unusually weak on this round, and the headphones tumble back out before they can be retrieved. Oh, you were robbed. I guess the house always wins, except on Tuesdays. Friend of ours always said that. I never knew what he meant. Oh well. Hey, listen. Sounds like the old man you were following around. I guess he had to leave. I should go with him. Oh, no, that's not a good idea. It's not a place for kids where he's headed. Anyway, I don't know what kind of plans you have now, but need help figuring out your next move, you can always talk to me and Miss Junebug. I just want to make sure you know that. I don't know what I'm gonna do. Me neither. You're in good company. Hey, maybe we still have time to poke around this place a little. They have some pretty wild stuff in here. Hey, did you see this? They keep a table full of fake food over here. I've never known why. Actually, I think it might be real food coated with shellac or something. Preserved. Oh, and look at this tentacle-looking thing. It's half eaten. Someone's meal they didn't finish? I dare you to take a bite. You first. Okay. Whoa, hold on. I'm just kidding. Sam and Ida preserved this half-eaten meal. It must have been important to them, right? Maybe it belonged to someone they care about, like my beloved uncle. He had a stroke mid-meal, so they kept it in his memory. Yeah, like these sunflower seeds my folks left behind. Oh, I'm sure your folks are fine, though. Are you worried about them? Yes, it's weird that they just disappeared. Yeah, listen, that's okay to be worried. You're doing fine. Weird. Somehow I thought it was his truck and delivery at all. It was. That's what she's saying, but he gave it to her before they took him away. But you're gonna deliver it anyway? Why? He's my friend. He needs my help to finish his job. That's right. He's our friend too. Johnny and I will help you unload when we get there. Lift with your legs, Cricket. Yes, ma'am. Ida, so how was everything? How was the sweet cave snail? Devastating. You're a killer, Ida. Well, I can't take all the credit. Sam came across a whole cave snail colony down there about a year back, and we've been leaving rock candy for them to gorge on since. We just started harvesting earlier this month. Flo, thank you for the 2 months. And Toasty, if you need rest, get rest. Yeah, it's all about patience down here. Everything grows more slowly in the dark. There's a fish in Lake Lethe that lives to 200 years. Its flavor profile only develops at about 75. Got a pot of bones in there that's been stewing for at least a week. Don't even remember why I put them on. Come to think of it, I don't even remember what kind of bones they are. Oh, we need one for the road. Clara said she wanted, something primordial, she said. What does that mean? I think she meant something from very deep in the lake. Could be. I'm no good at this. You pick. Um, what about maybe let's go with I think she'd like the poached crayfish. Good choice. Your friend will love it. I'll have that right out, sweetie. Ezra leans over the table and carefully examines the preserved food and drink. He runs his finger along a grayish claw. The surface of the claw is completely smooth. That was the small one. They're asymmetrical. Sorry I startled you, sweetie. Whose food is this? This is the diver's table, and this was the diver's meal. This food is about 15 years old, it's true. Things were different then. Nobody came to eat here. They're fighting just to keep the lights on. Sam, my husband. Sam was depressed. Couldn't catch anything that was part of the problem. Most of what we served was shipped in, frozen or dried, and I just threw it in the fryer. We've both come a long way since then. Well, 2 young men came in for dinner. Seasoned divers, they said, over 10,000 hours between them in Lake Lethe alone. They'd been out all day salvaging parts for a riverboat wreck, and they'd worked up a fierce hunger. They ordered the whole menu without even looking. It was a short menu in those days. I sat him right here and went back to the kitchen. Sam was sitting at the next table doing a Sudoku and drinking malt liquor, his usual routine at the time. An hour later, I was cleaning up when Sam came bursting into the kitchen. Ida, he said, kind of frantic. These divers are still hungry. Bring them another course. I said, they already ordered the whole menu. Sam said, make something new. Keep making up dishes, whatever. Just keep bringing out food. So I did until the small hours of the morning. Made up so many new dishes that night, I could write a book. And it was good. Inspired. But I was working so hot and fast at the burning edge of inspiration, I didn't think to write any of it down. And so wrecked with exhaustion the next day, I knew I couldn't remember what all I'd done in the kitchen. Sam thought we could take a photograph of the leftovers, but couldn't get the lighting right, so we just shellacked the whole table. And now, when I need inspiration for the menu, I come and look here and think about all those ingenious dishes I threw together for those divers. Of course, they didn't pay their full bill. I heard one of them complaining. The other, let's just pay half and let them charge the other half to whatever demon in the kitchen kept making up food faster than we could ask for it. But it all worked out. Things have really turned around since then. This place is actually pretty popular now. Success started, our expanded menu inspired Sam too. He started bringing back the most magnificent ingredients from his nightly dives. I'd better get to work. Stay right here, sweetie, and I'll bring you a treat on my way back out. Well, buddy, I guess you're the catch of the day, the one and only. So, what are you? You look like, well, some kind of squid, I guess, and kind of a mopey little guy, huh? Yeah, I can see it in your eyes. Smell like kind of dusty, dry. Where the heck have you been swimming? Skin feels like sandpaper. Oh, well, she'll figure something out. Think I'll call you Spaghetti Squid. Welcome to Salmonidas, the one and only Spaghetti Squid. Hope you enjoy your stay. I mean, not too much. Have you ever seen a creature like me before? You were pretty far down there. I wouldn't be surprised if I'm the first, except there were those two divers who went before me long ago. Maybe that was before your time. How old are you anyway? I wonder. They here once, back in the bad old days, two young guys. Could have been brothers, maybe. I was over in the corner with my coffee and crossword. Hadn't been able to catch a thing, so I'd have just fried up something frozen. These guys were hungry enough to eat it and ask for more. They did at least as much talking as eating. See, like I said, they were divers. Said they might have been brothers. Had a kind of rivalry going between them or something. I was about to write their check, but I slipped calmly and quietly into the kitchen for a minute and told her just to keep bringing out food. Figured they wouldn't notice, caught up in their boasting as they were, and I wanted to listen. They went back and forth for hours about all the deep, dangerous dives they'd been on, tunnels they'd discovered, all the weird creatures they'd encountered at the weird depths of Lake Lethe. It was like a dance, no, like a boxing match. Each story went deeper than the last. I listened to every word of it, memorized every description of every tunnel and diving route they discovered. That's my map now, you see. For 15 years I've been using the routes those two divers discussed right there at that table. Yeah, I could write a guidebook to the depths of this lake, but I don't dare. Someone would steal my good diving spots, and then where would we be? See, people come from all over just to try our daily catch because they know it's unique. Ain't you proud? Since I can't write any of it down, I just preserve that table where they had their meal so I can look at it to jog my memory. Like, they were eating pickled crab when they talked about that shipwreck full of salamanders. Pretty clever, huh? It's my own secret code. Well, I'll be straight with you, Spaghetti Squid. There is one feature of this arrangement that I find unsettling. In fact, I lose a decent amount of sleep over it. Told you those boys were competing, right? One-upping each other. Each getting wilder and more adventurous as they traded tales. Well, I navigated mostly in the dark down there, just going by touch and kind of by mental picture. I can construct from their detailed boast, and every time I explore a new diving spot from those recollections, I have to weigh it all against the risks that I'm heading right into a dangerous falsehood. One of those men could have felt for a moment like he was losing some ground in their little duel. So he could have slipped a fake one in there, maybe told a fib about some dive he went on to find a colony of blind shrimp living in a discarded refrigerator. When I get down there, my diving bell cracks open on the sharp rock where he said that fridge would be, and that's the end of Sam of Salmonitis. To be honest, that possibility puts the fear of death in me every time I touch water. Here, Sam. Good haul tonight? Well, see what she can make of it. Yeah, pretty good, I think. Had some trouble down by the narrow tunnel. Some kind of fast-growing freshwater barnacles. Just about sealed it up. Picked away for half an hour before I gave up and went around the other way. But I got the catch of the day, and that's the important part. That's what people travel for. Are there a lot of fish in this lake? It seems so quiet. Yeah, there's a fish or two. Not too many. It's not like a surface lake where you got sunlight propping up the food chain. Life down here grows slowly, patiently, quietly. Will you stay for a drink? I got a dark rum that goes well with coffee. It's a bit early for me. I think we're about to leave, but thanks. Just passing through. Hey, aren't we all? Oh, she's got your food ready. You all enjoy your meal, all right?
This world is not my home. I'm just passing through. My treasures and my hopes are placed beyond the blue. Many friends and kin have gone on before, and I can't feel at home in this world anymore. Oh Lord, you know I have no friend like you. If heaven's not my home, oh Lord, what will I do? Angels beckon me to heaven's open door, and I can't feel at home in this world anymore.
And with that, I think that'll bring us to the end of this recording. I will see you in a moment as we pick up with part 20. Thank y'all for watching.